I call the regular City Council meeting for the City of Kirby to order. Today is Thursday, August 27th, 2026, and it is 7:14 p.m. Please rise for the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Dear Heavenly Father, as we acknowledge the challenges faced by many around the world, including the recent tragedies in Nepal, Pakistan, Florida, and Nevada, we express gratitude for the blessings and opportunities we have. We pray for the comfort and strength for those affected by natural disasters and ask for you to grant us wisdom, knowledge, and patience. May your presence bring calmness and peace into our hearts and to the room, and may we emerge stronger and more resilient. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Councilmember Garza, can you hear me? No. Councilmember Garza, can you hear me? Okay, so I need to leave it on. All right, mission statement. The City of Kirby is dedicated to delivering excellent municipal services to our community in a fiscally responsible manner. City Secretary, please call roll.
Councilmember McCormick. Present. Councilmember Lozano.
Here.
Councilmember Garza.
Here.
Councilmember Molina.
Here.
Councilmember Street.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca.
Here.
Mayor Greider. You have a quorum.
And the mayor did have a TML training this week. That training was scheduled months ago. Moving on to citizen participation. First, we have Crystal Martinez. Please step up to the podium.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Crystal Martinez, and I live at 5102 Cedar Street. Today marks 30 days that my family has been without water because the city accidentally deleted my utility account and has refused to reconnect it while I work to obtain documentation proving ownership of my home. I'm here tonight to share how this has affected my family because I truly hope none of you ever have to go through this. Financially, we have had to fill 8 5-gallon jugs at the store daily just to flush toilets and get through basic tasks. It costs both time and money. I have had to relocate my family because of the city's lack of urgency. Emotionally, my 10-year-old is hearing comments at school about not having water at home. It's simply not okay. It has strained my marriage. It's put stress on our entire family. We've been forced to adapt in ways that no one should ever have to. Physically, I have a rare medical condition that caused me to go into heart failure at 38 years old. Lifting heavy water jugs daily has really taken a toll on me. I get treatment through University Health, and I have had to cancel my home nurse because there's no way for her to wash her hands at my house. This is now directly impacting my health. And then, in the midst of all this, police towed my vehicle from in front of my home after I was given 30 days to move it. Why was it towed after 4 days? Feels like harassment to me. Are you trying to make an example out of me? I truly just don't understand. I'm an honest person. I lived in Kirby my entire life. My family has paid taxes here since the 1960s. I know the city has had issues in the past with staff, so I'm not sure why there's even a question about this. Whatever dollar amount they'll discuss tonight does not outweigh what my family has gone through this month. As of today, between attorney fees, buying water, relocating my family, and other unplanned expenses, we're at about $8,200 plus the mental stress. It really comes down down to what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And what's happening is just wrong. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Rhonda Hammock.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Speak into the mic.
Can you hear me now?
That's better.
I kind of just wanted to reiterate the speed bumps that are needed on Gordon Cooper. We have a gentleman in a maroon double cab truck that flies through there. Unreal speed. And we have people parking on both sides of the street, which leaves one lane to come through and wait for the next person. I pray there's not an accident. If they could try and put speed bumps over by the bridge, cops, that's the wrong word, police officers would be encouraged. When I first moved here in 1996, I would call the city police officers and they would listen to you and they would set up speed traps. Doesn't seem to happen anymore, must be too much on the hands. The other thing that I'm concerned about, I will do a positive thank you for spraying for mosquitoes, but I will also do a negative. I live along the ditch and I live along the power lines. When are they going to mow them? They're as tall as I am. I'm 5 feet tall. This is ridiculous. Since the last rain, I'm so thankful we didn't get rain today. Just went right around Kirby if you watch the radar. Skipped us completely. I'm sure there are critters out there in the 6 feet tall grass. I saw where they mowed by Crest on one side of the ditch. I just don't feel like my tax dollars are being put to use. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Kathy Gomez.
Good evening, Council, Kirby community, wonderful co-workers at the City of Kirby. I just wanted to take some time to publicly acknowledge last Friday was National Senior Citizens Day, August 21st. In preparation for that day, I wanted to make it a really special day for the seniors attending the Senior Center. So I had reached out to quite a few local businesses, asking if they'd be willing to donate, door prizes for that specific day for the seniors. And I had quite a few actually donate. So I wanted to publicly acknowledge them. Automotive Break-In Pledge, Scott, the owner at Automotive Break-In Pledge, he provided two $25 gift cards to HEB for the seniors. Guerrero's, the owner Liz at Guerrero's, we call it the Purple Place on the corner. She provided two $20 gift cards to the restaurant. Priscilla is the store manager at Dollar General, local here in Kirby. And when I talked to her, she's a very lovely lady. Her staff is always just very lovely there. She said, we'll put something together. So when I came back, she called me. She said, I have 3 gifts. She and her coworkers created 3 really beautiful gift baskets for the seniors with gift cards to Dollar General, and that was specifically from them. Also, England Sanchez, she donated 2 autumn-fall gift baskets. So in case you haven't gone to the store, the autumn-fall decorations already. And Puppy Power, she donated, the owner Jody donated a full bath gift certificate, which included a bath, a special cut, and all the trimmings and everything. So I know that was a really high value. The seniors had a really wonderful day. I did want to specifically thank 3 organizations that came out. We had Nanjing with Comfort Keepers, who came out and discussed the services they offer. Teresa with Texas Resource Advocates. In case you weren't aware, Texas Resource Advocates do offer a free meal kit. You can reach out to them for that. And Gladys and Desiree with Bear County
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have David Barbosa.
Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, City Manager, City Attorney, good afternoon. I want to talk a little bit about upcoming budget. I hope that we put it in our hearts to take in consideration our men and women in youth. I think they deserve a raise. When our police secretary is making more money than our police officers, our firefighters, there's something wrong here. In the middle of the year, y'all gave all the department heads a $10,000 raise. And nothing for police officers, nothing for firefighters. They come out here every day, put their lives on the line, and we give them no raise. But we give our department heads a $10,000 raise. When we first gave police officers a raise, our present mayor said that is not right because our city's going to go broke. Because we were going to give police officers a raise, a pay raise. And it was less than, I don't know, $2 raise. Okay? But we're not going to go broke when we give all our department heads $10,000 raise in the middle of the year. Where did that money come from all of a sudden? And that's something that we need to take in consideration because they do put their lives on the line every day. And I don't think it really makes sense. How can y'all vote and say, yes, let's give the department heads a $10,000 raise, and our police officers are making $21 an hour? I made that 12 years ago as a corrections officer. And our police officers are making $21 an hour. That's a slap in the face for this officer. And we're looking for money for revenue, which I understand and appreciate city manager always looking to make money. How come we're not renting out the senior center? Every weekend people are looking for places to have parties. That could bring in some good revenue for the city. It has sat there, and nobody's renting it out. I don't see it being advertised that the state senior center is, available for parties, graduation parties, whatever kind of events. Can you imagine how much money we can make a year? It's just an idea, but if we want to pay the officers right, then yes, we do need to look for revenue, and that's one place to look at. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have George Martinez.
Evening, everybody. President at 5102 Senator. I was supposed to read this. Our water, as my wife said, was cut off 30 days ago. When we first cut off, it was shut off without notice. We went to turn on the water, it didn't turn on. When we went out to the meter, there was a lock on there. When we called the city office, we were told that the reason that it was shut off without notice is because the record showed that it was excessive use of a vacant lot. Now, we've lived there for several years. Why that was even said out loud, or why that was the reason that we were told, if that has changed, we haven't been told that. Now, we already know that the house across the street from the playground, right here by the senior center, that has been going on for years, where that house has been vacant, the roof is coming through. So we know that there's a process of, just like with the Explorer that was taken, we got the notice from the city ordinance that they gave us 30 days. We got the notice from the police officers that was two totally different things. So we know that there's a process just to move the Explorer, just as there is to deem a lot vacant. So who deemed it vacant, where they were warned, who signed that off on that? When we've been living there for several years, when they shut off the water, we were home. So it's not like they never say that it was their vacant. They said that we shut off the locks. Sorry. They said that before they showed that we had cut off the locks. We haven't been shown any proof of that. That we were shut off. We weren't shown any lock numbers that they put out there, other than it's a paper saying from the city employee that when he came back, the water was off. He came back and the water was on. Who turned it on is neither here nor there. You know what I mean? It's hearsay. So the last point. pretty much the same thing about the city employees and the records and stuff like that. And the pieces of paper, like my wife said, in front of the city hall, says that y'all were forced to show the citizens that y'all were late giving the water samples and stuff like that. And the reason that we're giving that, y'all were short-staffed and stuff like that, are for other reasons. And that's pretty much the reasons that we're going to be getting for us being accountable for doing the city's job. Now, we were there, we've been there every day, we've been hiding. So if there was there was never a letter, there was never a police officer or anybody that went by our residents saying, hey, you know what I mean? Like, for whatever reason, they're going to say that we were given a few calls, but no other action was taken. I guess that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to number 6, consideration and action on meeting minutes. And that's going to be 6A, regular meeting minutes, August 13th, 2026. Can I have a motion, please?
I make a motion that we accept the minute meeting for August 13, 2026.
A second.
No. I'm sorry. Can you
Like to
repeat that,
repeat?
please?
Okay. I make a motion that we accept the meeting minutes for August 13, 2026.
I second it.
We have a motion on the table to accept the regular meeting minutes dated August 13th, 2026, first by Councilmember Molina and second by Councilmember McCormick. Please call roll.
Councilmember McCormick,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Councilmember Garza,
No.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Councilmember Street,
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca,
Yes.
motion passes.
Moving on to 7, presentation. 7A, Marsh McClellan Agency Proposal for City Employee Health Benefits 2026-2027.
Council, that was going to be a presentation during the city council meeting. We have going to move that to the September 10th meeting where we've asked our employee health benefits provider to go out for bids and provide us other quotes from other health insurance companies. They'll have that for the September 10th meeting.
Okay, so it's going to get moved. No action. Okay, so it'll be moved to the September 10th meeting. Yes, ma'am.
Would that still give us time, like, for them to make their decisions for enrollment and all that?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, moving on to number 8, update, and 8A, Ackerman Road Project. Hello, Mr. Bain.
Good evening, council. This week, the contractor went out and had to remove a couple of spots on the storm drainage pipes. On there, he had left the remnants of the pipe when he was fixing it on there, so he was removing the sonotube. There was 2 spots where sonotube was left in when they didn't repair on the top of the pipe. And so he was removing that. After he removes that, then it would be complete as far as the contractor's concerned. So that was all that was left. He's supposed to provide us a TV showing that that sonotube was removed.
Okay,
And everything will be complete on that project.
okay. Any? Yes.
For edification council members, this is Carl from our city's engineer. And we wanted to remind everybody that we have our substantial completion documents that we've had now for about 3-4 months.
Yes.
We have the warranty, and we're some time into it. We do know that we have it set up to where when that date comes back around, we'll go out and we'll walk the
Any questions? Okay, thank you, sir. Moving on to number 9, items for individual consideration. 9A, discussion and possible action to accept renewal of Richard Bundick, Building Standards member. This was on the last agenda, but we didn't get to it. So Mr. Bundick wasn't able to be here tonight, but I'll go ahead and entertain a motion. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The only question I have is if Mr. Bundick can be on this committee and then also on the crime control. Is there no conflict or anything like that for him to be on this? No? Okay, just, it's okay for him to be on both. Okay, thank you. That's it. Oh, I'm sorry. Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion that we accept the renewal of Richard Bundick for the Building and Standards Committee.
Second.
There's a motion on the table to accept Richard Bundick for Building and Standards renewal to be a member. First by Councilmember Lozano and second by Councilmember Garza. Please take roll.
Councilmember McCormick?
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano?
Yes.
Councilmember Garza?
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Councilmember Street?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aguilar?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. And thank you, Mr. Bundick, for your service. And now we have 9B, discussion and possible action accepting Resolution 2026-14000, legislative update, public information requests.
Council, citizen staff, this is on here, this is a annual thing that we've started to do.
Pardon?
It's a new requirement every year. We need to have a resolution and provide that information to the Attorney General.
Yep, and then same thing, the same thing that we provide to residents in reference to public information, who's in charge, which is the city secretary. And then we have to give them address, and we have to have that on file with the state, just in case someone wanted to go to the state, they need to know who was going to. So this is an annual thing that had become required for us to do.
Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am.
There's no mention about the program that's on the city website for submitting open records requests. Does that need to be specified in here too? Since it says the way to submit is either through the U.S. mail, electronic mail, or hand delivery.
They don't have to because you can submit it to me directly too.
It
So
says
it's
that.
not- Yes, what I'm saying is it's not a requirement to show it can go online, that's electronic. So there's no link to give to them to say that because the AG just needs to know who to contact. They wouldn't go through that system. They would come through
Okay.
those ways.
Well, then why does it have hand delivery on here also, and U.S. mail?
They could mail something to me and someone from the AG could physically come
Sure.
too.
I was understanding this was how you would make an open records request, but it's not including that fourth option,
Because
which is a different email address, because it's not an email address. You have to go online to do it. You understand? There's another way to get to it, and that's through the city website, correct?
Yes.
Which is a different address than yours.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's all I'm trying to say. Is that required as well? Because if it is, it's not on here.
I don't believe it's required, but it can be into that if you like.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Molina?
She answered the question.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So, do you have a question? No? Okay. So, we're good? I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we accept resolution number 2026-14000. The resolution of the City Council of the City of Kirby, Texas, designating method, address, and location for receiving public information requests and providing effective dates as outlined in the ordinance.
I will second it.
Okay. There's a motion on the table for accepting resolution number 2026-14000, legislative update public information request. First by Councilmember Molina, second by Councilmember McCormick. Please call roll.
Councilmember McCormick?
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano?
No.
Councilmember Garza?
No.
Councilmember Molina?
Yes, as required by the state and as outlined here, yes.
Councilmember Street?
We're asking about a specific method and it wasn't answered, so no.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca?
Yes.
Motion does not pass.
All right, moving on to 9C, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2026-3025, authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Bain Medina Bain to provide professional engineering services related to the Ackerman Road Culvert Project and to assist with preparation of bid to advertise, solicit bids, and related actions, and providing for an effective date.
Was that C?
Yes. 9C.
I have a question then, because we're looking like, what's going on here? You know, we approved for professional services to complete the culvert project last time around, and that's been done. What's the difference in this? Are we done and we're asking to go to put it out for bids or what?
Whenever you're done, I'll share.
Okay, and you know, to solicit the bids and providing an effective date, I don't understand. That's why I'd like for.
Council, citizens, stakeholders. This agenda item is a culmination of the last meeting. Mr. Carl came back, he sent out the bid documents, he sent out engineering that he didn't have at the last meeting. You all have the entire documents that where once you all make this vote, he will actually, we'll meet and we plan to have it out as early
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
My question isn't necessarily for you, but you might be able to answer it. How much is the process? This is for the process to prep everything and go through the bidding and be ready to go and start the construction on the Ackerman dip. But there's no mention of cost in this resolution. And it says that under Section 5 funding states that expenditures will be made only from funds lawfully appropriated and available. What line item is this expense coming from?
I can clarify that.
Okay.
You also signed a contract with me at least a year ago
Uh-huh.
to prepare plans, specs, bid, and construction.
Okay.
So under that contract, I have a line item for bidding phase. So this is under that bidding phase.
Okay.
And the bidding phase includes completing the project manual, signing, sealing the plans, putting out the bid, answering questions, preparing the bids, reviewing the bids, making a recommendation. So under that phase is where you're paying me for that work.
Okay.
That contract was a year or so ago when you all signed.
Okay, so I'll have to look that up to find it, I guess.
I can send you a copy.
That'd be great. I appreciate that very much.
The city manager, he can forward it on to you.
Just so I can help clarify, he is talking about his portion of the contract, which is the engineering, which is correct. The City of Kirby went into a professional service agreement with him over a year ago for these projects. The question that Councilmember Street asked specifically, this will be one of our first projects that will be rolling out of the 2026 $15 million certificate of obligation bond. That is how we're going to pay for this. Both in the remaining engineering and whatever you all have selected, which is the 2 box culverts, that those funds will come out of the certificate of obligation. So that'll be the first project, one of the first projects we will be rolling out to complete this project. That's where the funding.
Okay, thank you, because I only have 2.5 minutes left. Thank you. Okay, so that's going to be on the 26-27 budget, but it's not on the 26-27 budget at the moment. It is not in the proposal budget, because I've looked at it. So I'm going to guess that if I email you and ask you what line item this will go on, you can answer me in a reasonable amount of time?
I can answer you now.
Where?
It's going to come out of the 2026 $15 million certificate of obligation.
No, there's a line item it needs to go on.
So you asked, and I'm telling you, it's gonna come out of right now, since this is gonna be our first project. There is no expenditure, so once we,
You've got it spent. It shows as being spent, all in 1 year. I've looked at the budget.
Can I clarify just a little thing? When we take the bids, we'll come back to you in October.
It's not about the bid.
it's just not about the bid.
It's about the line item that he's going to put this expense on. And right now, there is no expense line except capital projects, and it's a generic line item that has $11.5 million being spent out of the general fund and $3.5 million being spent out of utilities.
That's correct. And so how we structured the certificate of obligation, I'm telling you.
It's going to use up my whole rest of my time.
I'm just trying to share it. You keep asking questions.
Yes, I do, because I have more than one question.
So the answer to the question, the $11,500,000 that is allocated for capital assets, capital expenditures from the certificate of obligation, this is going to come out of that. It's going to be about $500,000 for this project. That's what I've said already. It just has not been finalized because we haven't spent any money. We're going to come back before this body 2 additional times. And so, again, I'm just trying to be as transparent. We're trying to be upfront.
Okay, then I have one more question before my 21 seconds is up. This says you're going to enter into a contract with Bain Medina Bain. So this is a new contract, not the old one that Mr. Bain is referring to, the way this is worded.
So,
I cannot accept that. If you're working off the old contract, you're working off the old contract.
so this council, this body voted last meeting to move forward. What Mr. Bain shared with you all today, we have been talking about Ackerman Culvert for over a year. He did the engineering, and we paid him for some of the work. Remember, we didn't give him the authority to complete it until the last meeting, and so we paid for that. We took that and we were going to other agencies to help to see if they were going to help supplant some of the money in reference to what we're trying to spend now. This body has said they didn't want to do that. They want to get it fixed now. We have the certificate of obligation, and so that's what we're going to do.
Can I also clarify? You can revise the statement that you're going to authorize, and I suggest you do. Not just go under contract, just authorize us to go through the bidding process.
Well, it's authorizing him to do whatever.
Who else will do it, man? Who else will do it?
It's instigating a new contract.
I'm saying you just
Yeah.
need to take the contract language out of it and just say authorize us to proceed forward with the bidding of the project, advertising the bidding of the project. So I think you can modify the request, your motion, to say that.
I don't think it needs to change.
I knew he was going to say that.
If we want to prolong, if we want to prolong the process, what we're currently doing is walking hand in hand through this process. This was just on the agenda. You all voted for this unanimously. We then brought back the same thing y'all asked and said, hey, we're not trying to do anything behind your back. We want to walk with you, and we're putting it in front of you again, laying everything out, and now there's an additional issue in reference to you all seeing the things you said you wanted to see. So hopefully the recommendation would be to approve this so we could move forward with bidding, because that's going to take time. Remember this process from what you all voted at the last meeting. There's a temporary fix and then there's a permanent fix. And so we're trying to not to waste money in reference to prolonging the bids, right? Because again, the more we wait, as was described last meeting. And so right now, all we're asking is to move forward with putting the bid out. He said we'll receive the bids in the system. Then once the bids are submitted to us, we will make the recommendation, bring the bid tab back to you all with a recommendation like we've done for everything.
Okay. Councilmember Molina?
So as I understand it, we already have a line item of what we're going to spend on this certificate of obligation. We do have a dollar amount in there. We don't know how much it's going to cost to do this until we get contractors to bid on it. Mr. Bain is going to put this out to bid, and he's going to get us his list of the people that are the contractors that are going to bid on it. Then we can make a line item to put that dollar amount of what it was bid on this particular project. But we can't have a line item stating exactly how much it is right now because we don't know. We have an estimate, which is a guesstimation, which all the engineers, architects do on buildings. And until we get a solid bid from a contractor, hopefully we get 4 or 5 of them and are competitive, then we can actually say, this line item is for contractor so-and-so for this dollar amount. Until that time comes, this can be put on there as exactly of what needs to go on. Is that correct, Mr. Bain? Did I kind of explain that a little bit right or not? I mean,
That's correct. And really, you're not authorizing to spend $486,000 or
Correct.
$500,000 with this motion. All you're authorizing is to be paid. You're still going to have another shot at it in October to spend that money. That's when you're actually going to be authorizing to spend that money. Will be in October. Hopefully, we get a bid at my price or lower, and then you will be authorizing that, and you can figure out whatever line item you want to use for that project. So you're not
Thank you, sir. That's all I have.
Okay. Anyone else?
Or we go last?
Councilmember Garza, did you have any questions?
Not particularly. I do agree that number one, it doesn't need to go out to bid. However, I am feeling a little weary of this wording that is essentially, it sounds like it's contracting with Medina Bain again. So I just feel like, if they said we could pull some of that out, I think that's probably what we should do.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Lozano?
Yes, I have that concern as well in the wording of the way the resolution is, where it says we're entering into a contract with Bain Medina Bain, when, you just clarified that we've already signed that contract, but it sounds like we're signing it again. Dan, is it possible to just redo that?
You can amend the motion.
To just say to move forward with the process?
I don't think any motion's been made yet.
No, I mean,
They can make a motion, whatever motion they want.
Yeah.
they can make the motion to move forward and amend the resolution if they want to. You can do that.
Okay.
Just whatever you want to do as far as taking the new contract language out of there, you can do that. Then we can amend the resolution.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions?
Did
No?
clarify my question.
Okay, all right. All right.
Can I add one more thing?
Yes, go ahead.
Of course, last month you authorized us, or not last month, last meeting you authorized us to do the temporary fix. So I wanted to give you an update on that.
Okay.
To see where that is.
Okay,
The city manager signed the proposal, last week. The contractors ordered the place. He should get them in next week sometime. And then it looks like we'll start and hopefully do that work the week during Labor Day. So not on Labor Day, of course, but that week, hopefully we got it scheduled. He's supposed to get back with me, make sure he has his police officers lined up, traffic control and all that. But that's the schedule. So we're shooting for the week during Labor Day to do that work. I just wanted to bring that to you just so that you know that was moving forward. I know it's not on the agenda, but it's on the afterwards, so I wanted to bring that forward.
okay.
That we cover that and let you know that we're working forward on that, trying to get that in place. Otherwise, I appreciate if you authorize us to move forward.
Okay. All right, so would someone like to make a motion?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I make the motion to approve resolution number 2026-3025, authorizing the city manager to move forward with Bain Medina Bain to provide professional engineering services related to the Ackerman Road Culvert Project and to assist with preparation of bid, to advertise, solicit bids and related actions, and providing for an effective date. And this was amended with move forward.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table, first by Councilmember Street, second by Councilmember Lozano, to approve resolution number 2026-3025, authorizing the city manager to move forward with Bain Medina Bain to provide professional engineering services related to the Ackerman Road Culvert Project and to assist with preparation of bid, to advertise, solicit bids and related actions, and providing for an effective date. Please take roll.
Councilmember McCormick?
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano?
Yes.
Councilmember Garza?
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Councilmember Street?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Aguirre?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Motion passes. All right, moving on to 9D, discussion and possible action to approve resolution 2026-3123, authorizing the city manager to enter into a professional services contract with Bain Medina Bain for the Boatman and Swan Community Development Block Grant Project 2024, including authorization to advertise, to assist with the preparation, solicit bids, and related actions, and providing for an effective date. Go ahead, sir.
This one's a little more complicated.
Really?
Dr. Rowland talked about it first, and then
Council, this was on the last agenda, we updated it. This was the 3 documents that I gave you at the end of the last meeting, for this meeting today. As you know, or just to kind of bring everybody up to speed, Community Development Block Grant was funds that we received from 2024 from Bear County. It's $218,000. That is the amount we had to spend on a project that was identified, Goldman and Swan. The problem is when we say Goldman and Swan, we're not talking about the entire street. We're talking about Goldman from Blue Jay up to Ackerman Road. If you're not familiar, there's a corner store and a restaurant on the corner. That area was identified, had met the criteria, but not only just that street, it was Swan. And it wasn't the whole Swan though, it was only a portion, which is where the complication comes in. So we had $218,000 we received from Bear County as far as reimbursements. We have not received the money in the bank, but it's the reimbursement. And we are needing some decisions from City Council and how we would want to proceed. From that, for the whole year, we were moving through this project because we had just finished Fox Cross, which was a CDBG project that we finished in 2025. And then the issue was that cost us $1.1 million to do that street. And then they had some sewer that were replacing sidewalks. There was a transition of different people who weren't here, like the city manager, and it was just new people. In that transition, our engineers, we had started to move through this project, and we were saying that Goldman and Swan was going to cost us $1.2 billion. That's what the expectation we had last year. Then when going through this process, we realized that 1.2 was a lot of money, and we didn't have the money. And so when we started to scale back the project based on what the options were in reference to Goldman and Swan, that's why we're here. This is going to be a conversation that we need to talk about. I think some of you all have been on here long enough where you received the update on where we're at. The issue, there's a paper I gave you in reference to the actual length of the street. So if you remember or look at this, I have another copy actually for you all too, if need be. The reason why this is an issue is because in this diagram, we are talking about the green area. The blue area is the entire street. And so what we need to do is close out the Community Development Block Grant 2024 because we are needing to move through this project. Bear County has want us to move forward in the process. So we have 2 grants out, CDBG 2024 and CDBG 2025. We plan on September 7th to submit our first reimbursements for both of those projects. So one project is, I think it's 218, the second project's about 118. Don't quote me specifically. So that is the amount of money we have outstanding from Bear County, which was why we couldn't get any additional money for 2026, which was the culvert that we submitted because we had too much outstanding money for them. But what needs to be made, or the options that were given to you, that it was the green area is what was submitted on behalf of the City of Kirby to Bear County that qualified. We cannot, so the question was, what was we gonna do for the $218,000? And so that's something that we wanted to give options from Mr. Bain, who is going to kind of walk us through several options on both of the streets. Our main goal should be to get this project completed as soon as possible, where it will push us back from receiving funds, outside funds, if we do not complete this project. We are way behind schedule. And so, once we do that, in the resolution is for us to move forward with going to bid based on the options. And so there are several options that were provided in reference to information from last meeting. And so there's Boatman Street, which was, I think the recommendation for Boatman was either it was option one, which was to the current submitted design that was going to address some ponding issues. So if you come through Boatman Street, there's like water that ponds in front of the intersection. And so to fix that, which would require some engineering and some, obviously it says it would not replace the curb, but it would eliminate the ponding to kind of move closer to the drainage. That's about $99,000 for Boatman. And so then that would be one of the options. The second option is the Ackerman reconstructing and paving, so doing some sort of full reconstruction, about $195,000. We had another option of just doing what was called a surface treatment, which is a bonded matrix overlay, which would clean the street, but it would not change the issue, which would be ponding, which is one of the issues that are there. And then option 4 would be to mill and overlay Boatman to Blue Jay, and that was about $36,000. There was an option 5, which was the company who I don't know, some of you probably seen, we did 2 demos on Facebook last month. That's the one that document that you're looking at of the map. Their price for Boatman was the green and all the blue. This option was a surface treatment bonded matrix overlay, starting from the intersection of Ackerman Road all the way to the intersection of Wheatland, and then include traffic control shuttle mobilization. That was $278,000. That did not include option 1, which was the ponding issue. So if that was an option, we'd have to include both of them. Again, just giving the information in reference to what we have told Bear County that we were going to do, and then the options of what we need to do, but whatever it does, both projects need to be done together.
I just have a question.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Do you have a document with all that you just read to us? Because I don't have it if you
Yes.
gave it to us.
Yes, I gave this to you all at the last meeting, but I can make a copy.
At the last meeting, we had all of that?
Yes, I gave you three options, all the options. That I
You
gave
just said there were 5 options.
on this sheet. There are different options because they're not all included. There were 3 companies in reference to giving us a reset. I gave you all this documentation, but I don't have a problem
Okay.
making a copy.
Okay. I have many questions about this.
Okay.
So should I just go ahead?
Yep, you want to,
We need to let him finish the.
Or am I going to not be able to use my time? Because it's running.
hang on, stop her time, please.
I think we still let Mr. Bain finish his explanation of the projects. 'Cause we-
Okay.
we still-
Okay.
no, let's-
Okay, so stop her time and let Mr. Bain talk.
So I can go a little more detail about the options. Dr. Rowland did a good job of his presentation. Of course, what he's working off of is an email that I sent from my office that we sent about the 2 options or multiple options for Bowman and Swan. So when we went out
that's the dip.
There's a ditch.
No, I mean, but that's where the dip is.
There's a ditch at the crossing. No, the dip is probably on down.
Okay,
The dip is at the, culvert that we're.
right.
But this school zone, the crossing guard shed is kind of halfway. Let's say. There's a street in between on there. So I was moving the problem, that's what the 100,000 is. Moving that problem, so it's on the there versus at the. Now, of course, Dr. Rowland is under pressure, of course, to try to come up with a solution that we can move forward with so that we can say we completed the project and we can apply for more funds for this next year from the Bear County. And so that's why he looked at this bonded mix overlay. And so we looked at, he had a person come in that's an expert on it. He talked about this bonded mix overlay. Of course, that bonded mix overlay, he was talking about the whole city doing things, but we were concentrating on these projects which you had money for. So one option was he was doing the bonded mix overlay for the full street width that you see on your exhibit, for Oakland, and then full street width for Swan, and most of that was like $800,000. Now, of course, that bonded mix overlay is just kind of an overlay, and we would go in and fill in the potholes, but we wouldn't reconstruct the street. We wouldn't solve any of the overall ponding issue with that. So that's not a very good solution, but it's a solution. The other option, of course, was to do mill and overlay of the street of just Boatman, and then we're gonna get to Swan in just a minute, but Boatman just for that short from Blue Jay to Ackerman, of course. That wouldn't fix the ponding issue, but you would spend the money, you'd be able to get reimbursed by the county, and you would be able to kind of move forward with applying for more grants. And so that's why he was looking at that option, is we could still do the fix of the drainage, the temporary ones, moving the solution down the 100,000 one through the process when you found the money for that. And we'd be able to spend the money for the CDBG grant to be able to get reimbursed. Now, that would be a mill and overlay, it would be with a local contractor, and he's also talking about using the buy board, the state buy board, where you can speed up the process, use their unit prices, get them moving faster so they can do it quicker. Now, of course, with these options that I'm proposing, I'm at 70% of these plans, both Oakland and Swan. So, once you give me direction, which way you want me to go, I would, on the 100,000 one, I could finish them. On the 195,000, or if we're doing mill and overlay, it's pretty straightforward, but I would have to do some redesign, and that's gonna be the same thing on Swan. So, so that's why we have 5 options on here, but there's really kind of only 3 total. One is drainage fix, 2 options for the drainage fix. One is the bonded mix overlay, or a couple of overlays, bonded mix overlay, and then the third is mill and overlay. So it's really trying to figure out whether you want to try to do a temporary, make it look nice, and get reimbursed by the county, and then move forward in the next year for additional grants on that. So that is both. So I'll leave it at open here, open up for questions, and then I can get into the Swan discussion after that, and ask you a couple more.
Real quick, I want him to share what he said to make sure everyone heard it. This process we have been moving, so his plans that you currently have, he has completed 70% of them, which is option 1. And so, which means that he has then now invoiced the city for work that has been done, but we have not completed those plans because we're needing direction before we spend any additional money on this project. That's for Boatman. So, like we would like to just take any questions on Boatman, and then move to Swan, break that down, and then we can address both of them together, because pots of money is $218,000 from Bear County, 2024. We have some additional money that we'll be able to give or take about $100,000 from our street maintenance to complete this project. And then there is, give or take, we're talking about $500,000 the city has allocated to getting this project moving and complete. I was trying to do it before the end of the year, but the revised proposal that we've gone back to Bear County and given them, this project was supposed to kick off already. They're watching. They asked from the last meeting what happened to it. By their requirements, it's going to be so many days it has to be bid out. And so right now, we were trying to get these projects this year so we would be available to get additional funding for next year for some of our other roads. So just sorry to say that we need some direction to kind of move forward. So we're saying we have about $500,000 currently out of this budget to complete that. And so we don't have to spend a whole lot of money this budget cycle because it won't roll over. Our main allocation of funds won't be until the next year. But this year, we definitely need a vote for us to move forward to do the exact same thing he just did before, which is to provide you bid documents and give us some direction and reference to these are the two things that we said we're going to do.
I have a question.
Okay, just a second, please. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add? No? Okay, all right. Councilmember Street?
Okay. First of all, I've never seen this document. Thank you. Glad to have it. But I can't really deal with it while I'm sitting up here with everything else. First of all, Boatman was done because it ponds. We don't want something that's just fixing it to make it pretty. We needed the water to not sit there. So I don't think that's an option, to just use the money so that we use the money and it won't fix the problem, which is what you said. It would be just decorative and not move the water. We need the water moved off of Boatman. Whatever it is we have to do that, that's the choice we should be making.
That's what you have before you, Councilmember. So option
Which
one,
option is that?
Option one, I'll repeat it again for you. Option one does exactly what you just said, paired with option four.
This says option one, this option would not replace any curb on Boatman or eliminate ponding on Boatman between Blue Jay and Ackerman. It says it right there, last line.
Well, there's,
That one doesn't work.
well, let me explain. On Boatman, between Blue Jay and Ackerman, it's a 40-foot street.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing wrong with the rest of the street. It's just where the water sits.
No, there's some ponding on the rest of the street, and that's why we say it doesn't eliminate ponding on the street.
Okay.
That's the explanation of why it doesn't eliminate ponding. Because we didn't take it all the way up the street, because there's ponding on the side, that's not the issue. We're fixing the problem at the intersection, and that's what this 100,000 is moving. And that's the set of plans that you should have, is the 70% of the plans, is that's the design.
Okay.
Is the option one.
Okay.
So that's kind of why we said it didn't fix.
I can't actually read the plans. They're either too light or too small, and I'm sorry, I don't have a magnifying glass, and I can't read them.
I brought a set, I'm gonna leave it.
I gotcha. To clarify, how many linear feet of Boatman is being worked on? So you're going to go all the way to Blue Jay?
No, this 99,000 is just at the intersection.
Okay, good. That's all we need fixed.
That's
We
all
don't
we
need it to go all the way to Blue Jay.
No.
Are you going to put a culvert underneath there, or are you just going to block everything so that it leans that way and the water goes the other direction?
We are putting concrete swale at that intersection off the side.
Okay.
We're going into, right next to the gas station.
Yeah.
Or the retail.
Yeah.
So we're starting there, there's a concrete swale swell there that ends
Okay.
and it's asphalt.
Okay.
So we're starting there, we're creating the swell.
Okay.
Carries across, so that's what's it.
Okay,
And
I
then
got it.
doing her.
Now, I actually looked at the list. Item 103.3 says you're gonna remove sidewalks and driveways on Boatman in square feet, which is 700 square feet, you said. The unit price is $10 for a total of $7,000. But then item 3 is another item 503.1, Portland cement for driveways is in square yards, and that's 78 of those. So that's $139 per unit for a total of $10,140. 78 square yards is 234 square feet. I multiplied it. That's a lot less than the 700 feet you're removing. So I'm a little confused, or I could use some clarification on that. And it'll cost a lot less to remove it than to replace it. Are those two items the same thing we're talking about, where you're taking them out and then you're putting them back in? Because then shouldn't the numbers be at least close? 700 square feet versus 234 square feet? Are we closing off a driveway or something?
Well, it's really, most of that sidewalk and driveway is on our, it's not on.
There's no sidewalk, well, there's only sidewalk, but it dies right there at Boatman. It doesn't go across Boatman, it just curves right there, and that's it. There's like 15 feet of sidewalk.
There's a driveway to the
Yes, there's a driveway.
to the convenience store.
Yes, there's a driveway to the convenience store on that side, and there's a driveway to the restaurant on the other side. But I would think the numbers would be similar in taking out and replacing. That's my main question, I guess. Then, again, I'm looking for what line item this is coming from. Otherwise, this resolution is just another blank check, and I'm not gonna approve a blank check.
So, what I'll just share, so two things. This vote, just so we can hear, so you can hear it again, because I'm just trying to help. This vote is to give him direction, just like last meeting, for him to put together a bid document. The numbers you're seeing is not an absolute. The numbers you're seeing is a ballpark. It is not until it is bid out, then you know the correct numbers, and then you make a decision. It's a three-part process, and we're just at the beginning. But I need council members to understand what I'm saying. Bear County is watching. And if you all don't approve this resolution tonight, I don't know the next time you're gonna be able to get any additional money. This is from 2024. We have been going on, this is not the first time council members have heard about Boatman and Swan. We just had it priced at $1.2 million. We're saying right now we found the money if we reduce the project to $500,000 to get what they've asked for, which is the 218 that they're gonna give us, and the City of Kirby is gonna put in the remaining roundabout to complete the project, which gets us moving on our way. You don't have to vote to write a check tonight, but I need a vote in a positive direction, which is forward, so the City of Kirby and the residents do not miss out. So we can play chicken if we want to. But I'll say it again. This is from 2024. We have also the 2025 grant that is moving along. They're watching. This has been on the agenda several times over the last year and a half. We just need some direction because it is a decision that you all have to make. The grant was submitted for a portion of the streets for Boatman. We have the money to fix what the engineer has said in reference to the ponding, and we have, I think, about $36,000 to be able to smooth out the street. Can we move to talk about Swan, and then we can take all this together? Because the numbers are going to be bigger, but we have to make a decision. We need you all to make a decision, not we. You all have to make a decision on what direction and what you want included in this resolution for us to move forward. Remember, Bear County has $218,000 that reimbursable to us. What I've decided to do was look at some of the engineering that we've paid, and then once we complete the engineering, that is also a part of the project, so we can get reimbursed that back. That's going to be part of our September 7th invoice for 2024, and then we have probably about 20, I'd say about 30% in our 2025 that we'll be able to submit for reimbursement. And so, you know, hopefully that's we're answering the questions that you have. This has been before the body a couple times, but could we move to talk about SWAN? That's a little more interesting, but we do need to have a cohesive, collective direction tonight.
And if you're point about quantities, I will check quantities. This is 70% preliminary, and we may have made a mistake. I'm not sure. I could have to look at it. It's been a long time since I've looked at these plans. I say, you know, I've had them completed for 4 or 5 months, and the money's been the issue. So, I will look at these and we'll come back to you with final plans if you approve. But I need, like Roland says, is approval of the direction. If you want to go this way, then we can proceed forward. If you want to don't do anything, we can stop. If you want to do a different option, we can do a different option. So, but all we want to do is proceed forward the way you want, and I'm recommending the 99,000, the simple fix on there. But I'll open up for any additional questions.
Okay, just so the audience knows, Mayor Greider has joined us by Zoom. Can you hear us, Mayor Greider? Mayor Greider, can you?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
So, council, so we presented. So we have presented Boatman, which was what we just talked about.
I think we still have a question on Boatman now. Parsa had something that was, something.
Oh, okay, I was going to let him finish speaking.
So he was going to go to Swan.
I was going to respond.
Okay, all right. Councilmember Garza, go ahead.
Yes, the main question that I had is when I read over a lot of this stuff, the only one that I saw that really addressed the ponding in on Boatman was the first one. So I just wanted to be sure that whatever we decided kind of was going towards that. So am I right in that that truly is the only one that does address the major ponding that's happening right there at Boatman Naglerman?
Yes, sir. That's what the 100,000 estimate is to move the ponding issue downstream.
And it was kind of weird because it stated that it would address that, and then it stated something that it doesn't address the ponding. So I was just assuming that the ponding that he was talking about was probably part of their down Boatman. I have seen a little bit of ponding there, but it's nothing compared to the lake you basically drive through the moment you're going from Boatman to Ackerman. So I just want to be sure that option one is the one that basically stops that.
You're correct, and the reason why I put that statement about it doesn't address all the ponding is you're correct. There's sides that have ponding we're not going to fix. We were looking at one time
Gotcha.
up the street, but we're trying to cut it back as much as possible to do the minimal amount, and that's why we're not. I wanted to let y'all know that we're not fixing that problem. We're just fixing the problem at the intersection.
Just the main one, right? Because I mean, like I say, that one's the only big one. That was the only one I think that's a major issue. So again, too, the way that these things were set up was it was like Boatman was a portion, and we're saying, okay, it's going to be $99,000 for that, and then we're pushing down like option 3 would be now what we're going to do to Swan, that kind of thing. So like these options were just for the Boatman area. Is that correct?
Right. These 5 options were just for Boatman. Now we have additional
Gotcha.
5 options on Swan. That will give you.
On Swan. Okay. But yeah, all right. I got you. Thank you.
Also, I think we've talked about that, and I think we got it clarified, but just to add on to that is that, like you said, option 1 does fix the ponding there at the intersection only, not on the street, but just at the intersection, moving that, and it won't be a drain per se, a pipe. It'll be a flume or a swell, concrete swell between Ackerman Road and the property, what's down there right now, but actually be able to have a positive flow and move water from the intersection downstream with that option one, the 99,000, right?
That's correct. It'll take it down to the guards.
To the guard shack, in that
First
dish.
down in the project, there is a guard shack grading back up on there. Those pipes at the guard shack and the pipe downstream of the guard shack are a little higher than, they have a negative slope on it. But we're not fixing that because we're just moving the problem down to just right there at the guard shack.
Correct.
And so it's a minimal amount as we could spend on this. In the future, if you repair Ackerman or try to do some drainage, you could try to work on it.
Right.
Carry it down when you have money there.
Right, okay, thank you. Now we can go to this one, unless anybody has questions on that.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Go ahead.
Council, residents, so now we're talking about we're talking about Swan. So the paper I gave you kind of had that schematic in reference to, the area in green. Swan is a long street, but we're only, so option one is only talking about the green area. And so this says option one, currently submitted design for Swan Lane from Deer Grove to French C. This option provides a combination design of mill and overlay, total reconstruction, partial reconstruction of curves, driveways, mill and overlay of the center portion of the street. This option attempts to solve the ponding issues by replacing the curves and gutters at a minimum slope of 0.40. This option does not replace existing sanitary sewer or water mains. This option also does not replace all the curbs and gutter sidewalks, driveway approaches. This option ties into Allen Shepherd. And so this is, was a reduced version of option 3. So we'll go to option 2 real quick. Option 2 is, option 1 is a reduced version of option 2. So option 2 was a total reconstruction on Swan Lane where Allen Shepherd project ends west of Deer Grove, east of French C. This option replaces the sanitary sewer, mains, laterals, sidewalks, and driveways. That was $1.2 million, but this is only for the area in the green. And this was the original concept from over a year ago when we were talking about $1.2 million, but that was total reconstruction, but that's only for the green area. And so option 1 was a reduced version of option 2, and it did also specifically talk about not replacing the sewer main. The difference between this and Fox Cross had sewer down the whole street, and this one only had sewer only in a portion. And so you see the difference between the $570,000 and the $1.2 million. Option 3 is a mill and overlay on Swan Lane, where Allen Shepherd ends, west of Deer Grove, east of French C. This option does not address any of the ponding issues or replace the curb, sidewalks, driveway approaches, or sanitary sewer mains. We can do this for $86,000. Option 4 is a bond matrix overlay using Swan Lane where Allen Shepherd project ends west of Deer Grove, east of French C, includes traffic control, shuttle, mobilization, bonding fees. It does not include streets cleaning that will be provided by the City of Kirby. That's for $124,500. Now, I would also say that was also including the totality of both streets, but we'll talk about that in the later to even see if this is still as an option, but that's for $124,000 for the green area. Option 5. This option is to use the body matrix overlay, the same thing you all saw on Facebook, for the full length of Swan Lane. includes traffic control, shuttle mobilization. Bonding fee does not include street sweeping that will be done by the city. And that is from the whole, that's all of the blue for the $543,000. So where you see the green, and then you see all of the blue for that amount. That's where we're at. Those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different options. And so that they're not like 5 only options, because you can add 2 things together. And so that's why Mr. Carl decided to put it to where we could say, hey, we may not have enough money to do all this, but we can do a little bit of this and add this to where we're at. Again, $218,000 from Bear County, and I think we found in total about $500,000 to complete this project together, not one, but Boatman and Swan is together, so but trying to fit in both streets. That is the dilemma. We went from $1.2 million. Well, the project just is $1.2 million. If we're going to do that total part only for the green area, or we can reduce the project, get it checked off and completed for Bear County so we can move on, and then move forward into our street. We will adopt a street plan when we go through working on streets, for the next 5 to 10 years, which is what we have been trying to do in a capital improvement plan.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, option 1, no sewers. I have a copy of the original application for this CDBG. Sewers weren't included. They were never intended to be done, okay? So don't make it like we're cutting things out that we were gonna do, because that's not what was the original plan. Okay, $570,000. It says, this option ties into Alan Shepard project. That's the green part here for Swan, right, that we're talking about doing?
Yes.
It does not tie into Alan Shepard. It does not cross the bridge. It does not replace the bridge. There's a bridge.
It's short of that. It's short.
Right. So it's not doing the bridge. No.
But that pavement's not in too bad shape.
Right.
compared to everything else.
But, well, it's got to connect to the bridge kind of, but yeah. Because the bridge is kind of, if you've driven down Swan, you don't like going down the bridge, especially if there's another car coming. Okay? So I just want to clarify, it doesn't go all the way to Alan Shepard. Okay, then why does it say it does?
Well, we were just trying to.
Just spitballing it?
No, at one time you asked us to go to Alan Shepard, and.
But that would
we
cost,
cut it
that would
back
include the bridge.
Because it was costing too
Yeah,
much. And
I
so-
got it.
And back to the sewer, when you replace the street, you normally need to check your sewer to see if it's in good shape. If it's not in good shape, that's why we put it in there to replace the sewer, even though it wasn't included in the CDBG.
But it doubles the price.
It does increase the price, but if you have sewer breaks, or you have to fix your sewer.
Then we fix the
5
sewer.
years down the road, then you replace the street.
Then we fix the sewer.
Well, then you replace the street also. And so that's the
Yeah.
reason why we look at it.
That's why we have a zipper machine.
Okay.
We don't use it, but we have one. I still haven't figured out why we're not using it, but okay. This is what else I have. This amount is not tied to the resolution again, and we should change it to the city manager to move forward with professional services contract, not, or is this a new contract?
Whatever you like, Councilman.
Is it a new contract? If he's already been doing 70% of it, then we're not getting a new contract, correct?
You're not a new contract if we don't change the scope.
Okay, so we're gonna move forward instead, just like the last one,
If
okay?
we move forward with option 1 on both of
Because
these,
this is a legal document, just wanna make sure we're wording it properly.
it's fine.
Thank you.
But, yes, if we
Okay.
move forward with these option 1 and on both.
I don't have a problem with that.
Not a new contract.
Okay.
We're under.
And are you sure there are only 20 mailboxes? You should get that joke. Okay. We don't want any more change orders like that. Specifically, the city manager, we still don't know what line item this is gonna come from, because it's gonna be more than the $218,000. You do show, I'm not done. You do show the capital outlay under streets for $218,000, but that won't cover this by half. The 26-27 proposed budget shows line item 10-580-5016 on grant for Boat and Swan as having used $65,650
That's how we pay for this.
as in the 25-26. So how do you put the full $218,000 back on the 26-27 budget?
Because we're not, I just, if you.
You did.
Just-
It's on there, on that same line item. It does not subtract the $65,000 you've already spent out of there. So it should only say $153,350 remaining for the 26-27 budget. Then you subtract the $99,000, so we've got only $54,000 sitting there to pay for the Swan section. So I'm assuming we're going to have to put some more in before the budget is voted on to at least give us an estimate so that you don't have to make a budget amendment, which we haven't made in like a year or 2 years, so that we know what's actually getting spent out of what line item. I know everybody doesn't actually read these items and considers the inconsistencies, but I do, and I will continue to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have a
Councilmember.
question.
Okay, just a second, Councilmember Garza, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, both of these proposals that we have here are the cost, are the descriptions. Option 1 is what was proposed for the, or submitted for the Bexar County CDBG grant, correct? You know, what they gave, or what they're proposing, or what we proposed to the county to do.
The limits are shown of what we were proposing for the county.
Correct, okay. So,
It was street work, and those are the limits.
and those were the limits for it.
We didn't define what we were gonna do as
So option 1 is the ones that identifies those. And the $218,000 or 218 is the number, I guess, that we're getting CDBG funds from the county? So, and that's for both, not just for the total, for Ackerman, Ponding, and Swan Lane, both of them.
218 is the total, but what I was saying is that on September 7th of 2026, we're gonna invoice the Bexar County for our first reimbursement based on funds from engineering that qualifies that we have already spent if this is approved to move forward. So we go from 70%, which some of it we've already paid, to 100%, and we continue to reimburse. So what I'm saying is, Bexar County's only giving us $218,000. We can reimburse up to $218,000 from Bexar County. That doesn't mean the City of Kirby can't put in additional money, which is obviously what we're saying we're gonna do.
Correct.
And I'm sharing with y'all, with the 218, we have about $500,000 total, not separate, total, to be able to do this project, but we just need to have some forward movement
Okay.
tonight.
Okay, and that's good. I follow you there. And all we're asking tonight is for, what these proposals are for, is to continue on to complete the plans so we can put them to bid and hopefully come in within these numbers of option number 1 for both of them. Like we did on the other one. We're not approving any cost for construction at this time. If we don't continue with this, it also limits or doesn't give us the opportunity to ask the county for any more money at this time. Is that correct? Is that what I understood?
That is correct, sir.
So either we continue on to try to get this done, and hopefully be able to get some additional funds from the county, or we miss the boat and won't have any money to help out, have the county help us out with any additional funds for another 2 or maybe 3 years. So we're not looking at approving money to go to construction at this time for this money. We're just approving for Bain Medina Bain, Mr. Bain, to finish up the plans on both of these sections. So unlike, I guess, Ms. Street and Mr. Garza said earlier, if option one is what we submitted and we get this done because we have plans pretty much complete, I think we should go with those to finish them up so we can get them to put them out to bid and get these projects moving. I know that on Swan, it's just a very small portion of it, but that's what we submitted for. And that's what we need to take care of right now. We're going to have problems with water and sewer at a later time, most definitely, because if we don't fix them now, we're going to have problems later. They're over 30 years old. They're more closer to 50. The zipper machine, all that does is picks up asphalt. That's it. It doesn't fix anything else. It doesn't do any grading. It doesn't do any compaction or anything like that. So we don't have the manpower to do that. We're down to half staff with our public works. They do a good job on what they're doing, but we don't have the staff to do a complete road construction. Just want to put that out there because people keep coming up and saying about that zipper machine that we can do all this work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councilmember Garza.
Okay, first off, I want to say I disagree with Mr. Molina on the whole idea of the zipper machine. As a matter of fact, one of our options here is to mill and overlay that part of Swan Lane. And essentially, all we're doing in that situation is paying another company to use their zipper machine to do the exact same thing, because the zipper machine mills and overlays. So it's exactly what this was built for, though. I mean, that's the reason why we had purchased the zipper machine, was to mill and overlay some of these roads, because once we take on just a portion of Swan Lane, obviously the residents are going to be wondering why we didn't do the whole thing. So I mean, I truly believe that even if we hired a company to utilize our zipper machine, or hired the companies to do as they did on Janky, to just come and put the overlay, if we were to do it, then we would still be in a better position. I just think that if we only do this one section and we don't have a plan to do the whole thing, we're going to end up in a bigger situation where people are going to be questioning why we only did a small section of it. So none of these really do address all of Swan, correct?
No. Only one of them addresses all of Swan, which is option 5.
And it would just put that spray on it, right? That black spray.
Well, it's not just the spray; it's also mill and overlay. They're gonna.
Okay, so you're saying that so you're saying that one option actually mill and overlays the whole thing and then sprays it down?
No.
Because if that's the case, I think that would be our best option. From what I was reading, it was one that was specific to mill and overlay, and it was just that small section, and it was going to be probably the cheapest one. And then there was another one where we would spray that matrix, whatever it was called, all the way down. Is that correct?
No. So right now, no, we do have. That's in one of the options that I presented at the last city council meeting. We had a company give us a quote on what it would cost to do that. We don't not have that as an option here because we're just wanting some direction.
Gotcha.
So mill and overlay.
Okay, so mainly, before we run out of time, mainly what I'm trying to say is if we did decide to just go with the mill and overlay to kind of, feed the CBDG grant, it might behoove us to consider actually utilizing the zipper, or like I'm saying, we could pay a company to utilize our zipper, or perhaps just figuring out a way that we could do this to where we can actually address the rest of Swan, because it will come up. It will come up. So I don't know exactly on the road construction stuff when Swan is going to be touched, but I truly believe that it's going to be one of the main streets that needs to be done. And if we do only a small section of it, we will need to address the rest of it. And I think a mill and overlay of the whole thing would actually be the best bet for the short amount of time. That's all I'm saying.
Councilmember, two things. You're bringing something up, which is why this has been a hard decision has to be made. The green area, which is what you see, or the whole area, which is the blue. We did get a quote for the entire street from a company. So to do the mill and overlay, of the existing driving lanes of 3 inches, and fill and haul off. There's a track coat placed in a compact of the same 3 inches for the entire Swan Lane. We can do that under $500,000. We do have a quote for that.
Okay.
The issue is, there's 2 issues. One is, if we do the entire street, do we meet the requirements for Bear County? The answer is yes. That's gonna cost more money. If we only do what we submitted to Bear County, everybody on Swan Lane is gonna be like, you only did this small section. And that's why this is a hard decision, but we have the quotes both for just a section, and we have the quotes for the entire street. So just to reiterate, for the entire street, the entire Swan is $500,000. For just a mill and overlay of just that section, was $86,000. But again, what is that doing? That is clearing it up 3 inches down, and then filling it back up. But
yes,
the question is, we do have the ability to do the entire street. But what I'm also putting back on City Council. Right now, we have about $500,000 allocated that we can come up with for this project. I think we can stretch it additional couple $1,000, but that's kind of what we was been pulling money from, because the original amount, $1.2 billion, we just don't have.
Okay, that's completely understandable, and all I'm really trying to say is if we did decide to mill and overlay just that section, which is going to be like $90,000, it's just a matter of having a plan to address the rest of Swan. And if that would be within the next year or so, I mean, that'd be great, but I mean, unlike Hickory Hill, we basically left the rest of Hickory Hill just bad. And the thing is one section of Hickory Hill that's great, and the rest of it's just hasn't been touched. And you know, and we're going to get the same ideas here. So I mean, I just was wondering if there was any which way that we had anything prepared for that type of stuff in the future. That's all.
All right, thank you. Any other questions over here? No? Okay.
I have one question.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. I just want clarification. I know we're going to get the 218 from Bear County, but you said we have a total of maybe $500,000 to spend. So if we use the option 1 of roughly $100,000 on Boatman, and then option 2 for Swan, which is for $570, rounding, that's about, over. So how are we going to account for that in this process? That's my first question.
We're going to have to get the pencil out. So we're going to need to account for it in our 26-27 budget. Mm-hmm. And what I've kind of already did, because I knew this was going to come up, mm-hmm. I like to think ahead. Remember, we have about $150,000 in our upcoming street maintenance budget. Mm-hmm. I don't want to use all of that because we would be using all of 2025, 26, and then using all of 26, 27, or the majority, to do that. And so I don't know if that's going to be, what are we going to do to the other streets for the entire year? So that's the dilemma mm-hmm. that we fall into. I'm pretty sure we can find an extra couple thousand to close the gap, but the question is, what are we going to give up doing that? So remember, we have about $150,000 in street maintenance that we get annually through our sales tax. That comes based on what residents spend money in the City of Kirby, comes through our sales tax, and so we get about $150,000, well, about $130 to $150, don't quote me specifically. That's how much we get to spend. So we have about $100,000 for 25, 26, which is this current budget year, which is we have about a month to use, a month and a week. We're gonna roll that because we didn't really have to spend a lot of money right now. We're gonna try to do the reimbursements, get that money back, and then when we step in October 1, we step into the 26, 27 budget, go for that 150 if need be. I wasn't trying to use all of that, but that is an option if we have to come up with an additional money. So, can we do it? Yes. The question is, are y'all gonna wanna use the entire street maintenance budget for both years on this project? That's the question that you all have to continue. And then the additional money, if you did the math, you know that's not 500,000. The additional money is the ARPA. The remaining, some money that we have remaining to be able to close out this project.
We can't use ARPA for
And
this.
so,
Councilmember Street, you haven't been recognized.
Sorry.
and you are correct, this is a difficult decision to make on Swan because, you know, we're going to make a decision on making the entire street pretty, or are we going to at least fix a problem on a portion of the street? So we are faced with a difficult decision, but the decision that we make, we do hope that the residents understand that it's about, you know, making long-term solutions and not just making things pretty all the time. So we'll try to make the best decision using that concept, and I'm done.
All right, thank you. All right, so I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I want to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to do, what was it, option 1 that addresses the draining on Boken and Ackerman, and then I'd like to do the mill and overlay for Swan, for that area.
Option 1.
Okay, so you're talking about option 1 on both.
I didn't know what the option was for the mill and overlay. I think it might have been 1, but yeah.
Okay.
No, that's
So I
not,
just say,
it's not option one.
for both for option 1?
No, so what you're asking for,
He's correct.
on Bowman, yes, but not Swan.
Ron is doing the
Correct. So it would be,
Well, I guess the question is the mill and overlay for the full length or just
No.
for the portion for the CDBG grant?
No, I just think so we can get the CBDG grant run through, so then, you know, we can maybe look into, you know, trying to figure out how to do the rest of Swan. So I'm just talking about that one little section that he was talking about from
Deer Grove to French C.
So that would be about.
just that one little section that kind of goes, I believe it went up to French C, yeah, that's correct.
So that's about 100.
No,
That's option 1.
that's option
Which
1.
option was that? I'm sorry, I got confused a little.
It's option
It was
one.
option
So
2?
it would be option 3.
What?
No,
Okay.
No.
Ma-
No.
Okay. Okay, so he's in the middle of a motion, so hang on a second.
Sorry, I just need to get the options right for that second one. That was option 3?
Swan is option 3. I have.
Oh, okay. Because that was just 86,000.
Okay. Yeah, it was a million overlay for that small section.
Showing about 86,000. That was my estimate. The contractor had about 89,000, so you need.
Yeah, I think that was it. We're both about 100,000, correct?
100,000 for that, for minimum.
Hey, hold on, if we do get that or whatever, does that mean we won't get the full grant? Because we have to put up 20%, correct?
Well, you've already spent engineering, so you got engineering plus.
Oh, got it.
Swan.
Okay, no, then we'll get it. Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'd like option 1 and option 3, I'm sorry. I make a motion to authorize the city manager into a professional service contract with Van Medina Bain for Boatman and Swan for option 1, option 3, for the Community Development Block Grant 2024, including the authorization to advertise and solicit bids and related actions. With an effective date, what would the effective date be?
It's today, I think.
Today.
Okay, with an effective date of today, August 27th.
Second.
Okay, hang on one second. Okay,
Sorry,
there's,
that was kind of a jumble.
okay, no, that's fine. So there's a motion on the table, first by Councilmember Garza, second by Councilmember Street, to approve Resolution 2026-3123, authorizing the city manager to enter into a professional service contract with Bain Medina Bain for the Boatman and Swan Community Development Block Grant Project, option 1 on Boatman, and option 3? Option 3, including authorization to advertise to assist with the preparation, solicit bids, and related actions, and providing for an effective date of August 27th, 2026. Please take roll.
Councilmember McCormick?
No.
Councilmember Lozano?
I just need clarification, I'm sorry. You said professional service contract with Bain Medina Bain? Enter into
Yes,
professional service contract?
Yes,
Okay, we weren't going to change that to just.
that's what he said, so,
It is what he said.
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's what he said.
Okay, then, could we change the wording, or?
No,
Well,
you
I
already
have
made
to,
the motion.
no,
Can I
then,
rescind my motion?
Can you resend his motion?
I just,
Oh, okay, well, then let's vote it down, and then we'll do another one, I'm sorry.
We need to complete the vote.
Yes.
Okay, complete the vote then.
okay, so the way it was read, then, no.
No, okay. Keep going.
Councilmember Garza?
No.
Councilmember Molina?
No.
Councilmember Street?
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca?
No.
Mayor Greider? No. Motion does not pass.
Okay.
Now we can make-
you all, can we share something with you all?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bain wants to share something with you.
So doing the mill and overlay doesn't fix the issue that's happening in that street area. You have a lot of climbing right now, you have a lot of curves that are up and down. If you look at my plans that I did for option 1, for the 570, that's to replace some driveways, some curbs, not all of the curbs, not all the driveways, not all the sidewalks. But it's a combination of reconstruction and mill and overlay on there. And so if you've been on that street goes up and down, and there's some major issues with water on that street, ponding currently. If you mill and overlay the way it is, you're not gonna fix any of those issues, and you'll have it's just gonna pretty it up, you'll have a pretty part of that street for a little while, and then when it rains, you're gonna have issues ponding, you're gonna have driveway issues, you have curb issues on that.
So,
Go ahead.
if you're gonna mill, then you roll it, then you crest, put the crest in the middle so that it goes this way. Doesn't that flatten everything else out? Why would you still have ponding?
You're not changing the grades of the street. You're just milling it, it's gonna be the same elevation. You're not creating a ground, you're not creating anything else. So if your curb's going up and down, if you look at the plans,
So why aren't we creating a crown? Even if we were gonna zip it, we'd put a crown on it.
it depends on what's out there. Some areas there is a crown, some areas there isn't, because there's 2 drains there.
Yeah.
If you have a crown, you can't drain through that drain, so you have cross slope in that area.
Right.
And this street doesn't have a very good crown anyway,
Right.
as it is
Right.
on there. And I have the plans, and of course, you probably only got them half size or 8 but that shows the gutter lines. And as you can see, the gutter lines go up and down on there. You're not fixing that issue,
We're not fixing that.
not with the mill and overlay.
Okay.
That is so I guess here's an educational moment for us. when we fix a street, drainage doesn't automatically fix just because you fix the street. So when you fix the street, it is just the street. The reason why he included the sewer in there is because.
That's not what he's talking about. It's not the sewer.
I know what he's talking about.
Ma'am, please let him speak.
Understand the entirety.
It's my time.
Some streets have sewer lines in the middle of the street. If we open the street, to put the street down, we would want to change it out, which is what we did on Foxcross. Right now, on the streets that we fixed, we've only done to level the street. We have not put in the additional, or what it would take to actually fix drainage, which is a different topic, different situation. And so that's what I was trying to share with you. Just because we're doing streets doesn't automatically cover drainage. One of the issues that we will talk about during the budget is that we do not currently collect a drainage fee. We don't have a drainage study. That is something that I'm proposing to do, that this body will accept, which then we can then go back to the residents to talk about the drainage and flooding, but we have never addressed it financially in a process. And that's the process that we're doing for the first time, coming up here in the next 30 days. And so I'm just trying to share for the body, just because we fix a street, drainage is not automatically included. If you want to look at any other city, it's on their bill, it's called stormwater, or it's called drainage, and they pay for that. That's an additional fee. It's going to cost millions of dollars.
But this is localized areas that I'm showing all my plans to fix curbs and not the whole street, because that was the $1 million. So I'm trying to fix the ponding, and some areas are zero slopes on the curb.
Okay, so option one fixes that
Option one does that, yes,
on just that section.
just that section on there. And so, of course,
So if you fix the ponding, where's the water go?
there's 2 drains there. And
So you're gonna direct it to the drains?
They're gonna be directed to the drains,
Okay,
open channels, concrete channels. So we're just
so it's
directing that.
option one
Option one.
on both of them then, Boatman and Swan.
Correct.
And that's, the option one on Swan is the $570,000 one?
Correct. And that's the plans that I presented,
Okay,
and that's the 70%.
okay.
So
So that would not require you to go back and do something else? You
No.
just have to finish these plans?
exactly. This is
Okay.
what I'm putting for
See,
proposals.
Councilman Garza doesn't have this piece of paper that we were told we had.
And I understand about the concern about billing or overlaying things, saying that's the easiest way, but that doesn't fix all the issues on it. You'll get a pretty
Right.
street for a while. You'll have
Okay.
ponding, you'll have curbs up and down if you've been on that street, so.
Okay, and the initial
But
issue,
you can do that, that's your preference.
okay, I got it. So the initial issue, Councilman Garza, is we want to move forward, not enter into a professional contract. We want to move forward rather than enter into a new contract.
And correct, so if you give me authorization to option one for both projects, I'm at 70%, I'll go to 100%, that would be a month. So I'll
Okay.
come in a month with 100% plans, with an estimate, and then hopefully I'll ask y'all to go to the bidding part.
Okay,
So that would be similar to Ackerman, so we're moving forward. The issue with, of course, option one on this is that it's tougher construction, let's say, because you're doing kind of piecemeal versus tearing up the whole street,
yeah.
putting it back in. So,
Well, we did that on another street too, and then they had to wait like 6 years to get the rest of their street done,
but
yeah.
you are going to get it.
I know.
A smooth pavement.
But we need to do
You're not
this
gonna
for the CDBG, so I get
You
that.
can do that, but I'm just saying that from a contracting standpoint, they're not gonna like this project. That's
Oh, well.
some of the other projects, so we'll have a harder time getting a contractor, but, and I put an estimate, I'm not very confident on it, but.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Garza, would you like to make your motion?
Can somebody else make the motion just so?
Okay.
'Cause I think I might be hearing it spotty.
I'll do it. Okay. No problem. Make the motion that we approve resolution 2026-3123, authorizing the city manager to move forward with Bay Medina Bain for the Boatman and Swan Community Block Grant Project 2024 with option 1 on Boatman and option 1 on Swan, including authorization to advertise to assist with the preparation, solicit bids, and related actions, and providing for an effective date of today.
I second it.
Second.
All right, there's a motion on the table to approve Resolution 2026-3123, authorizing the city manager to move forward with a contract
With Bay Medina Bain.
with Bain Medina Bain for the Boatman and Swan Community Development Block Grant Project 2024, option 1 on Boatman, option 1 on Swan, including authorization to advertise to assist with preparation, solicit bids, and related actions, and providing for an effective date today, August 27th, 2026. Please take roll.
Councilmember McCormick?
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano?
Yes.
Councilmember Garza?
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Councilmember Street?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca?
Yes.
Mayor Ryder?
Yes, with the caveat that hopefully, next fiscal year, we'll take care of the rest of Hickory Hill and the rest of Swan, at least with Miller overhead.
Motion
I'm down with
passes.
that.
All right, great, motion passes.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bain. Okay, so I'd like to ask someone to make a motion to move item 10, closed session, before item 9E. Anybody want to do that?
I would like to make a motion to move item 10 before item 9E.
Second.
Motion on the table to move item 10 before item 9E. First by Councilmember McCormick and second by Councilmember Molina. Please take roll.
Councilmember McCormick?
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano?
Yes.
Councilmember Garza?
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Councilmember Street?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca?
Yes.
Mayor Ryder?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, item number 10, closed session. The City of Kirby City Council will convene an executive session on the following items. Section 551.071, consultation with attorney, closed meeting. A governmental body may not conduct a private consultation with its attorney except 1, when the governmental body seeks the advice of its attorney about A, pending or contemplated litigation, or B, a settlement offer, or 2, on the matter in which the duty of the attorney of the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct and the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with this chapter 5102 Cinderella Street utilities issues. All right, make a motion to close the meeting.
I make a motion that we close this meeting.
Second.
Motion on the table to close the meeting, first by Councilmember Lozano, second by Councilmember Molina. Oh, do I need to do that?
You say to go
To go into executive session. Okay.
Councilmember McCormick,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Councilmember Garza,
Yes.
Councilmember Street,
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca,
Yes.
Mayor Ryder.
Yes.
Regular meeting closes at 9:19. And